often think of photography as being the pursuit of learning to see again. Evolution made sure that we spend our days filtering out what is unimportant to our survival. This is why, as beginners, we often don't tend to see distractions in our compositions whilst composing, and only tend to notice them later on during post, if at all. Becoming a photographer invites us to pay more attention. We are, in effect, attempting to reverse evolution and take more notice of our environment. And we do this so that we can notice the things that are special that are happening around us. Perhaps special light, perhaps a special subject, or even simply just to help us reduce errors in our compositions, so we aren't disappointed when we can't fix them in post. The same is true for colour awareness. As an evolutionary payoff, it was never important to our survival to notice subtlety of colour. Being a photographer, on the other hand, gives us the luxury of slowing down and making an active effort to notice the small things. This is why, at the start of our photographic journey, many of us are attracted to strong, vivid imagery. We are, in essence, lacking in skill to notice more subtle colours, so we tend to be drawn to the more dramatic. This is certainly how I was. In my early days of being a photographer, there was never enough colour. But these days I find overly colourful images may appear to be too loud, even unsettling. I learned many years ago that simplifying one's compositions required just as much thought about colour as it does subject placement. If there are too many colours competing for my interest, then I will feel overwhelmed or fatigued. Indeed, I think this is why many black and white artists choose to work in mono. They say it's a much quieter experience than working in colour. And that is something that I understand. For the same reason, many of my images this past few years have been just a shade away from having no colour at all. I find it much quieter, simpler, and also perhaps more elegant. But I still find I prefer to have colour to some degree. Colour just seems to add an additional dimension, one that makes the images a little more 3D for me. But I've noticed lately that I seem to be letting more colour back into my work. 20 years down the track, I now understand that I've been on a pendulum swing of colour. For the most part, the pendulum has been swinging towards more muted colour palettes. I needed to learn how to make images quieter. But lately, the pendulum has started to swing back towards more colour. Only, I'm not going back to the way I used to work. As in all areas of life, nothing is never the same when we do go back. We always bring our experiences with us. And so too, with that thought, I will bring what I have learned about making quieter images with me.